Jeez, man. Looks like there's some like real blonde ones in there.
Yeah, some of them are real dark, and some of them are real blonde. That's this afternoon. I was out feeding them.
Yeah, you definitely need to include more of that in your videos. People get a kick out of that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just a fraction of them.
Yeah. How many do you reckon you feed? Like, how many do you think come in?
I think it's in the neighborhood of 60.
Jeez. And you feed them all dog food, or what do you feed them usually?
Dog, cat food, and cookies.
You think all of them are like rescues that you guys have had over the years and
No,
just kind
just
of?
a few of them are.
Oh, really?
Most of them are wild. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. I know you guys have rescued a bunch of them, and they end up coming and going. Right? Some of them will get healthy and kind of come and go.
We used to do a lot of it. But it got out of hand. I mean, when we got the license and we agreed to do it, the DNR was recommending everybody come over because nobody else would do it, and
Yeah.
we were ending up with 150 baby raccoons, and taking care of them was really a lot of work.
Oh,
Carol,
yeah.
I would just disappear and hunt, but it is kind of funny because Carol walks down her, they run. Anybody else walks down her, they run.
Really?
They can
But they
smell
like
it.
you.
Yeah.
Is it because you're the one that feeds
I
them?
pull in the driveway to hear my loud truck, and they come frolicking.
Is it just because of food?
Yeah.
You think? Is that? I mean,
Yeah.
are you the one that feeds them most of the time?
All the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and now we got a turkey. Hen turkey's been coming closer and closer and closer, and she's roosting in the yard now, and she'll walk right up to me now. And we've got ground squirrels, the ones with the stripes with the dots in them.
Yeah.
Most people call them gophers, I think.
Chipmunks, right?
No, not chipmunks. We got those.
Like
the chipmunks jump right on top of me and eat out of my hand.
Yeah,
but
they're not very
buttholes. They seem cool because they'll jump in your hand and eat the peanuts and stuff. As soon as you run out of peanuts, they'll give you a look, and then they'll bite your finger and look at you like, "Give me some now."
Oh gosh!
They'll start like attacking you when you run out. And once they get they lose their fury. But the ground squirrels are kind of cool. They pop up like meerkats all over the yard. They're watching me feed the coons, and they'll come inching closer and closer and closer. And you throw a cookie, and they'll run over and they'll get it. And then they'll run with that little tiny chipmunk-sized gopher, be running, dragging that cookie back to its hole. And
do the coons get regressive to the other animals, or do they kind of all?
Coons kind of like want their space. They'll get real aggressive with the other ones. They'll crawl and snap and bite. The one I feel the sorriest for is Mr. Angry. He's been coming in for many years. He's got both of his ears chewed off and half of his tail chewed off, and he's getting really old. He's a big coon, but he's real skinny. He's one of the orange ones. And Mr. Angry, even the little babies are beating him up now because he's getting too old. I know I took a picture of him today. I'll see if I can find it.
How old do you reckon he is, Dan? Like, how long do they stick around?
Oh, he's probably, I want to say at least 12 years old. I mean, we had one that lived to 15 in captivity.
Yeah.
And, but it's hard to gauge it because that one had all it wanted to eat and stuff and stayed fat. But this one really is just old. And see if I can...
So they're probably similar to like a dog then. That's about how long they live. That's crazy. I was laughing earlier because you said it was really out of control, and I was like, compared to like that, because it has to get. I'd say that they go through a lot of food. 150 really.
This one here, I'm really watching close. It's a real little tiny baby that has no mom, but it comes in and eats every day. So I'm trying to let it be, so it just it gets by on its own.
Is that Mr. Angry?
No, it's just one of the guys.
Oh, that's funny. If someone else goes down there with you, do they get pretty skittish, or will they let
they won't come as close?
Yeah. Jeez. That's a big one.
Oops.
Yeah, that's all right.
Here's Floppy.
Yep. Floppy, we've seen that one before.
She's big fat. Here's Mr. Angry right here.
Okay. Yeah, he looks pretty old and run down.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What is it with coons and you guys? Like, what started the coon thing? You know what I mean?
When I was a kid, I had pet coons growing up. And when I got older, and I got married, we were at a family party, and my niece found a baby raccoon in the road that had a broken leg, and the bone was coming out of the leg. I think it got hit by a car.
Yeah.
And she brought it back, and it was a cool little guy, but he's not going to live with a bone sticking out of his leg, you know. And
right.
My wife wanted to save him, and I'm like, I don't think you can save him. I mean, what are you going to do? You know, I think we should just kill it. And she's like, well, let me try. And I'm like, okay. So she started calling vets and stuff, and they wouldn't touch it. They wouldn't touch a wild raccoon. So then she called the DNR and asked them what to do. And she got a savvy warden, local one for Jefferson, old guy. He's not here no more. But he said, you know what? I know what you can do. You can get a license to take care of raccoons. And helped her get a license because he wanted her to have one so that he could do the rehabbing because nobody was doing it.
Yeah.
And she got this rehab license. It took her a lot to get it, but she also got a captivity license to keep that raccoon. And then with that license, she was able to get a vet to work on it, but not in Wisconsin. She had to travel all the way to Iowa. And they tried to save the leg, and it ended up losing the leg. And we had a 3-legged raccoon. And that 3-legged raccoon is the one that lived to be 15 years old.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was a cool guy. Giant. You know?
Yeah, I imagine if they're in captivity, I mean, they probably don't, or, you know, if they're pets, you know, they probably eat all they want and they don't.
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest them for pets because when they get to be about a year old, they can really get bitey.
Yeah.
You know, you change on a dime. They ain't a cat and they ain't a dog, and there's a reason people don't have pet raccoons.
Right.
But you know, when we had them in captivity, you got to remember we released them as soon as they're old enough to be released, and I tried not to humanize them. Like I didn't spend too much time playing with them. You play with them, they come just like a person, and they'll run up to people. We've got one in captivity now that somebody had humanized.
Yeah.
It's the only one we have right now that's in captivity because we can't release it because if it sees a person, it just goes running up and tries to give them a hug and jumps on them, and they think they're getting attacked by a rabid raccoon, you know?
Right.
But she's like the size of a giant fat black lab with little mini legs. She's just a monster.
Oh my gosh. Dixie.
Mm-hmm. She never got it. She's one of the very few that never got mean.
Really?
Yeah. I can go out and pick her up and everything.
If you want to watch another video, click right here. But don't forget to subscribe before you leave.